In this lesson, we'll learn how display layers can be used to help make our rigs more animator friendly. So we've already learned that we can use display layers to quickly toggle the visibility of our objects. However, they have a few extra modes that I find work very well in animation. So let's go ahead and take a look at those modes as we store our ship mesh and control object in their own layer. We can start with the control. With that selected, we'll create a layer and rename it to ship control layer. Alright, next let's go ahead and head over to our outliner to grab the other objects. We'll expand our ship group, the ship control, and we'll grab everything from the back fins to our 3D texture node. So with all of these selected, again, we'll create a layer and rename this to ship mesh layer and choose save. Okay, great. Now just FYI, if you wanted to reorder your list, simply select on the layer and you can use these first two icons. So let's say if we wanted the mesh layer between the control layer and the platform, it's just a matter of using the second icon to move it down. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at one of our layer modes that allows us to template whatever objects are connected to the layer node. I'm working with the ship mesh layer, so if we were to go ahead and click on the second box, notice we are now in template mode. So we're given a wireframe and we cannot select our mesh. This is very useful if the object was, let's say, already animated, it was finalized, but we needed to keep track of objects behind this in our shot, just to make sure that everything is moving correctly at the right time. Well, at this point, we can go ahead and use this template mode just to see what's happening behind this ship. So again, it's just a great way to keep track of other assets. And the fact that we cannot select this prohibits us from altering the animation. So that's good. Now, if we were to click on the same box again, we're now in reference mode. So with reference mode, we cannot select the mesh, however we can still see the shaded view. So again, this is just a great way to select our control without having to accidentally grab our mesh and cause pieces on it to be offset accidentally. So those are a few modes that I really enjoy working with. They offer tremendous help, especially when you're dealing with several objects that need to be animated in your shot. Now, another really neat thing about working with layers is that we can use them to recolor objects. So let's say if we wanted to recolor our control object, just to make it easier to select. With the layer selected, we can go ahead and double click to get back to our layer properties, and then we can choose a number of colors here. So I'm going to go ahead and work with yellow. So now it's a lot easier to access that control with a brighter shade. So those are a few ways layers can be used to help make our rigs more animator friendly. Now, I'd also like to point out that you don't want to work with several layers. Just use what you need, especially if you have a large scene with several assets. Those assets may need their own layers, and this list can pile up very quickly, so be very careful when using layers. Again, just use what is needed for your shot and nothing more, so that you don't have a whole list of things to pick and choose from. Alright, well, that's it for this lesson. So in the next lesson, we're going to learn about pivots and how they can be modified.